What's up, everyone? This is DyanaRozay. Welcome to my channel. You guys, let me know that you are in the chat. I am trying to make sure that I have everything set up. Okay. Let's see. I see Kat. I represent Queens. How are you? Hey, everyone. You know how we do it over here. Go ahead and let me know what city or state that you are coming in from. Hi, April. Hi, Isis. Hi, Pacino. I see Nakia, MN. Thank you so much for showing up as a moderator. Butterfly Kisses. Hello. I see Ohio. I was born in Ohio. Columbus, South Carolina, Delaware, New York. A lot of people are on Anthony. Okay. Well, we're going to chit chat. The group of us that are here, we're going to chit chat. I see South Trinity Woman, Willie, Tasha Rains. Thank you so much. Hey, girl. Sharon Fields, Brenda, Becky. I'm sorry about that. That says Bevy Jacks. That's from Texas. Columbus, Ohio. Anderson, Indiana. Oh, there's a lot of people from Ohio. Hey, Ohio. Does anyone know me from Ohio? I haven't lived there in forever, though. Oh, the camera's frozen. Carmel Fox is in the house. Richmond, Virginia is in the house. Okay, you guys, we are about to talk all things reality TV, okay? Y'all know what happened earlier today. A lot of you hopefully had an opportunity to see my video from earlier. Let me know if you had an opportunity to see my video earlier, okay? Let me know in the chat. Says Dana from Charleston, South Carolina. Cool. So yes, everybody had an opportunity to see. Joy is here. So we're going to talk about a few things today. The first one is, of course, Martell, okay? And as you guys come in, please go ahead and hit the like button if you will. I see 71 people watching, 36 people have hit the like button. Cookie from the Shy, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Katina, all of you that are here, thank y'all for rocking with me, okay? Rue Jones, hey, thank you for coming over. Okay, so you guys, I wanted to talk to you about what happened earlier today. Like, that was a shock. I actually asked you guys if you were over on my IG page. I had put up a poll asking if you were shocked that that Melody and Martell are having this play out on the show, the custody battle, basically. I asked if you guys were shocked, and it said 88% of you said yes, 12% of you said no. So I was one of the people who said I was shocked. I had no idea that this was going to come to the show. They actually had promo for it and everything. I'm about to pull that up too. I had that on my IG page. So let me go over there real fast. Let's see here, mixing cabbage for what? Let's go to my, if I can open it. Okay, so on my IG page this morning, I gave you guys this clip where Martell and his mother are having a conversation about Melody taking him to court. He actually starts off by saying that he had set it up, took Melody to court, right? Which we all know. He has been saying that since season 2. A lot of y'all may remember, some of you may not, but in season 2, you guys, Martell, I think Sugar Mama may have been like 2 months old. Okay. 96 of you guys watching, please hit that like button as you come in. Sugar Mama may have been 2-3 months old, maybe. Baby, okay? And remember, Melody had left and went to Atlanta. Her and Martell had just, they were into it, and they had just made the decision to divorce. And he was calling everybody, talking about, I don't know where Mel is. She's been gone for a few days. And when she came home, they got into it. And then I think Martell, something happened where Melody says, you don't think I know you have my children around that bitch. Okay. She screamed it out. And then he said, "You keep it up. I don't want you talking like that in front of my kids. And if you keep it up, I'm going to I'm going to sue you for full custody." He said something like that, something ignorant. And then she threw something at his head. I don't remember if it was dirty clothes or a pillow or what, but she threw something at that man's head. Okay. Y'all remember that? That was the first time. Okay. The second time he did it was, I believe, at the coffee shop. They were supposed to meet and discuss some things, and he was talking about the babysitters and all that stuff. And when he was done, he basically threatened to again move forward with taking the kids full custody. And Melody said, "You do that. Like, you do what you got to do. I got my receipts. I'm not playing this game with you." And then she walked away. Um, the third time I believe he did it was when they had a meeting at the office. It was Melody's office. So Melody took over the old Holt and Holt office, and they were all there. The comeback group was there. And then they got into another argument. And he got up and said something like, "You didn't want the kids, no way," or something to that effect. And then he left, and he had to bring the kids back because one of the babies were crying because they wanted their mama, and they knew he was, acting a damn fool. But all of that happened. Martell, in this little clip, Martell is acting like he is just heartbroken and, "Oh my God, how could Melody do this to me?" Y'all remember that? I know y'all do, but just acting as crazy as can be, just as barely could speak words. Let me see what y'all saying in these comments. These comments is jumping. Someone said, "I think Martell is bringing this to the show for a storyline. I do not think Melody wants this on the show." Okay. You could be right, because right now, like I said, I was shocked and surprised. I was shocked and surprised. However, what I wanted to show you guys is that it was a part of the promo. And when I saw it as a part of the promo, I didn't talk about it with you guys because I was like, what? But check this out right here. I don't know if you guys saw this promo on Own Keep It Real. This was back in February when this dropped. And it said, "Melody and Martell, oof. Are you all ready to see where this new season of Love and Marriage takes them?" And then it says, "On their co-parenting relationship." And they gave us a clip of Martell and Melody at the reunion. And that's when Melody says to him, you don't get to start the battle and then not finish the war. Like, that's when she said that to him. And that was when I was like, oh Lord, is this what I think it is? And I'll be damned. It's exactly what I think it is. So that's why I was like, I wanted to talk to you guys about it, because we have heard him out loud say at least 3 times on the show that he was going to do this. We've heard him do it on social media, where he was going back and forth and making these horrible threats. That was before Melody said anything, right? 3 times he said this before Melody said anything at all. When Melody had did her interview with, I believe, the Shade Room, that was the first time she said, "He's taking me to court. He wants to change the custody order." But Martell made the threats multiple times before Melody said anything at all. Martell made the threats multiple times before Melody said, "Hey, why don't you and I go to Destin, take our kids there, let them know that we're okay." And then it was after that Martell did what he did. And then you guys, if you listen to the clip, if you were on my Facebook page or on my IG page, you would have heard the clip or just heard it all together, because it was really like the shot heard across the internet. Martell makes the comment, "All I wanted was mediation. I didn't want to actually take the kids from her." Even though, y'all remember when he had that red hat on and he was in his car with his shades on, and I don't know if he was pretending like he was crying or what, but he was making that plea. "That's why I'm taking Melody's ass to court now, because I don't want all these babysitters. I don't want man watching my kids," all of that craziness. But now in this clip, in this new clip, the unseen footage, because it didn't even air with the first episode, he is like super reserved, super just speaking real quietly. His mama's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know she was taking you to court." And he was like, "Well, yeah, mama, I took her to court first, and then she changed it, and now she's taking me to court." So it sounds to me like he got a problem, because Melody said, I'm not doing it anymore. We're going to get a judgment. I want you out of my life altogether. We can't co-parent. We can't. So y'all, that is something else. Okay. I'm going to drop this link because I want y'all to come up and talk to me. Now I said I wanted to talk all things reality TV. So Love and Marriage Huntsville is one of the things. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was Escape and SWV, like all these things that has dropped in 6 episodes. I feel like in the 6 episodes that we got, it felt like we've at least been with them for at least 5 seasons. They have dropped so much information. Now we know everybody's in an open relationship and they all have all these threesomes and menage a trois, all these things. I'm like, do we need all this information? We just wanted to see 2, like, legends get up on the stage and sing. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that and get your take on it. The last episode, it broke my heart to see Tamika. She seemed the most choked up, but she brought it to the table. But she was like, listen, I will always love my sister. I've never had, a life without her. Like, I don't know what it's like to not talk to her and for us not to be good. She was like, when I'm not good with her, I'm not good at all. And I was like, damn, well, why would you have made all those decisions on screen if that's how you feel? It was just, the opposite of what I thought we were going to get. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to drop the link because I want to hear from y'all. And then if there's anything else you guys would like to talk about, of course, I would love to hear. So let me get this invite out first. And then I'm going to read through some of your comments and bring you up. Okay. So here is the link. We'll get this pinned. I would love to see you guys on camera today too, if possible. I got the message pinned now. So if you would like to come in, please do. And let me read some of these comments that you guys have. Pretty Brown Eyes said, I hope he wins full custody. I believe Melody already has. So you're saying you hope she wins. I believe you're saying. I'm sure you're saying that, Pretty Brown Eyes, because I know how you think. But yes, ma'am, I agree with you. I had someone ask me earlier if they thought that the case may have already been decided because things are moving the way they are on the screen. Cookie from the Shy said he can't afford to keep going back and forth to court. I agree with you. One of the things that he said in the clip, y'all, was he said that he flipped out when he got the bill. I think he actually said, I may have got the number switched up in my video, but I think he said 10 days or 20 days, $10,000, something, but his pockets were hurting. And y'all remember when that wine, he finally got somebody to market his wine. And he had some pretty decent videos on his IG page. And then all of a sudden, all of that stopped. So I'm guessing them pockets are tight. And Melody actually said in that post that she made the other day, she said he is actually risking his livelihood. So no, he has no builder's license. He's not doing anything with real estate or any of those other things that helped him make his millions, allegedly. The wine clearly isn't doing well. Everything right now is him and the show. And he is so having his fits that he doesn't get that he could lose it all. Do you realize how much that man has lost? How much that man has lost? It is crazy. Let's see what else. Carolyn said, I can't wait until Mel gets full custody and can move wherever she wants to with her children. Martell adds nothing to their lives. Okay, Miss Carolyn. South Trinity said it was 10,000 for 20 something days. Okay, thank you for correcting me. Either way, 10,000 is still a lot of money to give up in 20 something days. And I think they ask for that, that retainer every so often. This case has been going on since, I want to say July, maybe July. And then when Melody was giving us updates, she was saying that they had not gone to trial yet. They had not gone to trial. But Martell just seemed like he was so pissed, right? Talking about, well, I had 6 little things. I just wanted her to agree to 6 little things. And Our lawyer would send it over to their lawyer, and Melody came back and said, no, we don't want any of it. We're going to trial. We're going to trial. So, what do you think about that? Okay, Square Biz, thank you so much, Square Biz, for the donation to the channel. They said, I think the custody situation has been resolved and that the details will be revealed in the show. That is the reason why they have not told us yet. Okay, that is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you guys on, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I am shocked. I am shocked that this is actually playing out on the screen. And I feel like maybe they're going to give us all the details. So we're going to see. But do y'all think that, they're still being forced to do 20 or 50-50, or that they have they've changed some things? South 20 Woman said, what were the 6 little things he gave us 2, but I bet one was child maintenance. Child Melody did say, she said, I am a woman who is still going out here and getting it, and I don't ask for a handout. And I'm telling you right now that it was a weird thing to say, in my opinion. That was a weird thing to say. I got Pretty Brown Eyes who came up. Hey, hun.
Hey, how are
How are
you?
you? Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm
Awesome.
I'm just so happy my phone worked and let me get up here.
I'm happy it works too, child.
Okay,
What do y'all think
so
about all this?
did you want to ask me or a question or just talk?
We can just talk. This is just a free for all. Y'all can
Free
talk
for
about
all?
whatever you want to. Yes, but I was just so amazed with how this has gone down. Y'all have heard me say this before. I think that a man, father, whomever, taking the mother to court for full custody, I think that's an act of violence, personally. If that person isn't, on drugs or doing anything crazy, his request was so small, the threats that he was making against her, that was so, I mean, what could she, it was ridiculous. I can't even imagine having a small child Sugar Mama was what? Maybe 2? I think she was 2, right?
Yeah, he had been threatening said he had been threatening ever since she left him basically. And I guess in my opinion, I meant she, not he,
I know, girl.
on my comment.
I was like, I'm gonna correct
That's first and foremost. I don't think anybody dislikes him as much as I do, but I'm sure people.
you. Okay.
Um, I feel that he, just like she said on the reunion, like he wants her to stop now that he sees that he was losing and it's expensive and it's not as easy as he thought it would be.
I do too.
Can't remember if you mentioned the time when they sat at the table and she told him to take her to court or to file a motion or whatever.
Was that at the
Remember?
coffee shop? Mhm.
Yeah, at the coffee shop. I'm not
The
sure.
second time. Yep. The first
Okay.
time was when she had just come home from Atlanta. She had left him there with the kids,
Yes.
and she came in the house. They got into it, and she said, I don't know. You have that person around my kids, right? And
Right.
he said something to her. That's when he said it, actually. He was like, she cursed when she said it. And he said, I don't want cursing around my children. I might take you to court for full custody. And I don't know what she had in her hand, but I know she released it. It went right to
Right.
his head. And I was like, damn, that is some violent stuff to say to somebody.
Well,
That's violent.
he's such a bully. I
He-
think that he figured that she was gonna, at the thought of him threatening to take her kids, she would be with him to just stop. Then that would stop all of the action. That has always been his threat. I'm gonna take the kids. I'm gonna take the kids. I'm gonna take the kids. And even when he told his mom, remember the one time he told his mom that he's gonna take him, and she was like, "Take him for what?" Like basically, you get him. I'm not. Who gonna watch him?
I
Because I'm
remember.
not going to take them.
I
So,
remember she was dead set against it, wasn't she?
yes, she was.
Talking about.
And he has always been the initiator of what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my kids and this, that, and the third. And this is when we were still, as the audience, not clear on who was the breadwinner in the situation. We
Who
knew
have
Mel
the
was
brains.
the brains, the brains.
Mhm,
Well, the brains is the breadwinner because
mhm.
in all actuality, all he was doing was going to the gym and pretending to work when she was actually doing the contracts and hiring the labor and getting everything in motion.
Mhm. You know,
But
you're absolutely right.
so she was the brains and the breadwinner, and all he was doing was just walking around like a peacock with his chest out, talking about what he's going to do if she leaves him. So he was calling her bluff, and she basically let him know that she wasn't afraid, and she did it afraid. And now we're seeing the repercussions of his actions.
You're right.
But
You're
what's funny to me is how he has the audacity to flip this. He says one thing, he begs her on his hands and knees to pray, when ain't nobody looking. He says how much of a, I'm sorry, Mel, this is not my words, it's his words, how much of a, garden tool she is, and how nobody want her and how he don't want her, and in this, that, and the third on camera. But
right.
behind the scenes, I guess, Sharadam will see, or Arion will see that he's begging her to be with her and be upset. So he's trying to flip the narrative like, well, I want to have a decent co-parenting relationship with her and she's just being impossible. He's still being manipulative and trying to turn the fans
Against
against her, to make it seem like I'm trying to work with her. She just won't work with me. Fool, you the one took her to court.
and he
What?
does that every single solitary time. He
Yes.
starts
And
off
and,
with all
and
this
Marlene too.
dread, all this just watch and see, just wait, and he'll say it in front of any and everybody. And then the second he loses, he realizes he's losing, he goes and he puts his tail between his legs, and it's that's all I wanted. Why is she doing this to me?
Exactly. And even at the party, the Kimmy so-called party, where I have words about that too, but at the party, he was like, "Why are you doing this to me? Fool, you did it to yourself." Oh, I don't want nothing. Just one time he says, "I only want two things." Now it's six things. You want to control this woman and what she does with her kids on her week. Make that
Yeah.
make damn sense to I'm sorry. Make that make sense. You
Yeah,
want to control what she does with hers kids on her week.
on her week.
On
Ex-
her week.
Exactly. Exactly.
You done had them around every She Hulk, every coleslaw, every macaroni and cheese, the lady from DC, whoever. You had them children around everybody because you use your children to manipulate. That's just like when I was a teenager. Um, my sister, I have a really, really cute nephew, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is when we used to always go to the mall. So we
Mm-hmm.
used to get him all dressed up and clean. I'll volunteer to take him to the barber shop because the guys are there. To
Mm-hmm.
take him get his haircuts. I dress him up, take him to the mall, and everybody be like, "Oh, he's so cute." Oh, this is my nephew,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets you get attention.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does to his children. He props them up, dresses them up, and has everybody in awe of how cute they are, how well spoken, how well behaved they are. All thanks to Melody. I'm going to give her the full credit
Mm-hmm.
because she's the educated one in the group. And then that's how he gets women and gets people to so called respect him. And they go with the man of the year, approach because he's hanging around with his kids on the week he's supposed to.
Yeah. And it's all a mind game too. That's the other thing, how, you know, getting the baby mama to make those comments about how he's going to take them kids from her, and how did she put it? You see what he did with his baby, with his ex. He's going to get those. He's took her to court, and he might get him. He has a strong chance of getting him. However she
Right.
said it, it was like, what? Why do you care? Why would you ever put
Re-
that in your
re-
mouth? or type it out on paper. What do you care about that?
Remember how giddy she was in that same live? I think she's like, "Ooh, he is something else, boy. He's something else.
I
Ooh,
do.
ooh, I don't want no part of that. He's something else." Like he's just, yeah, he's cunning and devious and a demon. That's the something else he is. He does not have those kids' best interest at hand.
Nope.
All he wants to do is hurt Melody. He had 50-50 custody, but Melody
Because she
missed her.
agreed. She didn't even fight him. That's the thing.
No, she
I
didn't fight him for
to sit there
anything.
and say, listen, let's you and I part ways and try to be friends. You can have 50%, 50 custody. I don't want child support. I don't want spousal support. I will leave here with nothing after 14 years. I will leave here with nothing. For her to have done all of those things and for him to come behind 2 years later, okay, with some garbage. Oh, that's the devil, man. That's the
Well,
devil.
he has been plotting on it ever since. And I believe in his mind, he really thinks he made her and he really thinks that she was not going to be able to be successful without him. And she showed him and she showed Carlos and she showed everybody on the cast that she was a formidable opponent and something to deal with. Because if you look back, all of the troubles that all of them have, meaning the cast, meaning the show, meaning everything, it all stems around 2019 when she dissolved the business, got out of the combat group,
Mhm.
and put in motion to divorce that clown.
Yep.
Because now all of those businesses are in shambles. They've already created additional shell companies. I ain't gonna mention them on your channel. I respect your channel, Queen. I won't do it. But it's all in black and white. It's all
Mhm.
in black and white. As a matter of fact, almost the whole cast besides those two were in court today.
I saw that. I saw
So, the proof is in the pudding. Even the so-called it girl, the new it girl who said it was her show, you in court too.
You're right about that. Let me say thank you real quick because I have a question I want to
Oh,
ask
no, no,
you
no, no problem.
guys. Let me say thank you to Marilyn Demines. She said that I pray that Melody got full custody of the children. Melody, please move out of Huntsville ASAP. And this plan was in, the works. Remember, Melody's mother kept going on. People were like, have you moved to Huntsville yet? Because that was a part of the storyline last season. And she was like, no, Melody told me that she may not stay in Huntsville. So I have not moved to help her out with everything. So last season, when Melody Martell, prior to them even going to
Right.
Florida on vacation, Melody's mother was like, I'm hoping that things can get better between he and I so that he might even ask me, can I, do you mind watching the kids? I want you guys to be okay. I want you guys to be okay. And for everybody around him to have constantly shared that with him and him not to get it because he was so hell bent on controlling Melody,
Right.
controlling her. And now that it's all slipping through his hands, it's just wild
It's
to me.
he bet on the wrong course. And another thing before I forget,
Mhm.
I believe, or in my opinion, I feel like she has won that case. The only reason why I feel that way is because even though he's still a pompous jerk, he's being somewhat more reserved, if that makes sense.
Super reserved.
He's a little teeny bit more humble.
He's like a child who's just got in trouble.
You're right. And
Like he wants
he's
to get
cutting up.
good
And he's
graces.
not right. He's trying to what he's walking that fine line.
Mhm.
And I think that that's why he's not only in from the court order to go to count allegedly.
Mhm.
Remember, well, it's not even alleged because she actually said you supposed to go to counseling and you didn't even go.
You didn't.
So
Mhm.
I think that the show made him go after he had that tantrum and did whatever he did behind the scenes because
Good point.
she just posted, well, you were supposed to lose your job behind what you did, but somebody, he has a rabbi somewhere that is saving him.
Wow, ain't that the truth?
And the last thing that I think why she may have won is because now all of a sudden he can't film. And yes, they're on the show, and maybe he lied about the details, but I think it's more geared towards them showing them on social media. And the
Right.
reason why I say that is because Melody was heavily promoting videos with Sugar Mama and stuff like that leading up to her launch. She has launch for the girls coming and launch for Tank soon to come. And because it's all under the 7th Avenue umbrella, he
Mhm.
has no rights to any of that, even though those are his 4 children. You know how those are my 4 kids.
And you know what she kept saying in the interview that she did on Friday? She kept saying that she is a partner in her children's businesses, that
Correct.
little entrepreneurs. She said, I'm teaching my little entrepreneurs. I am a partner in their businesses. And I was like, she is telling a whole lot of stuff without saying it. Just got to be really,
Oh, I heard her loud and
yes.
clear.
I was like, she's not said these things before. And now she's saying it like, I'm fine. And then even telling Carlos King on Saturday night, and him saying, this is the first time I've ever heard you say this, but saying to him, I have contemplated quitting this show multiple times because of Martell's behavior, and him just sitting like, Melody, you and I need to talk. And I'm just like, sir, what is going on? I know he said
Carlos,
it's
cut
not
it out.
fair.
He did that, Dyana. He did that interview at gunpoint.
Did you
Melody
tell
said, "Listen, if you don't get this crap right and let these people know who brought them on this dang on show, I'm walking, and you better get up here." And he set his butt up there and what she had to say. And he said, no, I didn't even want Stormy or Destiny, and Destiny paid, and wooty wooty woo, and
child,
you brought them on.
all stuff that could have come out at any time for him to have said,
He,
listen,
he
you
could have been dead at all of that drama.
could have been did it. But him and Melody has not sat down. Now, I'll have to say this. They haven't sat down, and I don't know how much she wanted us to know about that, because even when he said, I brought Destiny, or I had taken a meeting with Destiny and LeBeric, did you know that? She said, I did not know that. Now, that's interesting that neither one of them, when they were all friends, shared with Melody that they had paid for the same meeting that she
Because
paid.
they were so busy trying to replace her.
Isn't that interesting? So that's why I was like,
Yeah.
damn, this girl has been running up, down, all around talking about how somebody saw her at a party and said, you're a star. Like this story that she was telling. I was like, whoa.
I,
And then people kept asking over and over, like, didn't Melody bring you on the show? No, not Melody. This is I got brought on through Martell. And I was like, Destiny, that is wild to me. Even after it was all said, I was like, that is wild to me that I'm bringing anonymous up. I want both of y'all to stay up though, just so
no, I will. But
uh,
you notice how he did not mention that fool's name. He didn't. He
nope,
didn't say Martell did nothing. And
nope,
and before Anonymous talks, and I'll just be quiet because I know you want to let her talk. The other
that's
point that
fine.
I wanted to make as to why I think that she won is because he's trying to stop her from marketing the kids to not like she doesn't need them to make money, obviously, but he does. And I think he had been trying to coleslaw baby with his children and calling them Maverick and doing all of this because you're trying to lump them all in. You He's the same complexion as Sugar Mama, but they don't look alike. The baby looked just like his mama.
Right,
So
right,
you can't just lump them all in and think that, the only way that the son is somewhat legitimized, and I'm not talking about the baby, I'm just talking about just the facts. The only way that he's legitimized or can even be considered as an M&M is with the M&Ms. So
Ugh,
Melody, what
child.
baby? You
I,
want to post that baby? You're going to post him without mine. You're not going to prop him up and legitimize him through my children. Period.
period.
That's just what I think. And
Period.
so since he can't do that, they're fighting tooth and nail. So it's one way or the other. Either he can't film and say, well, since my son can't film because Coleslaw can't be on the show, my other children are not going to film. And Melly said, okay, fine.
So
Because
this
guess
is
who
what
it hurts? It hurts him.
I got something to tell you too in just a
Go
second.
ahead.
I
Go
got
ahead.
304 of you guys in. Welcome to all of you who just came in. We are having a great conversation. The link is pinned at the top of the chat if you'd like to join, but be sure to hit that doggone like button, okay? Please and thank you. What I was going to say is I'm interested to see how the end of this show is going to, of this season is going to end, because I was kind of curious if Martell filmed his march, the Selma, the reenactment, the march he did where he was the grand marshal or something like that, and he had all the kids there, and I'm curious if they will all be on television.
Well, you know they edited Dusty out because Dusty was at that party.
Oh no, yeah, she was at the party, but I'm curious if Martell's going to have all 4 or 5 of the kiddos.
Well,
Uh,
I just said that point to say that
you
if
think
they
they'll
do, maybe they'll blur
the baby out?
the baby. But he made it a point to always have that child in his arms to
That's why
make
I
sure
said it. That's why I said it.
that he can be seen at all
Mhm.
times. Sugar
Well,
Mama was wherever with the different handlers that were out there. About I counted 5 people was watching Sugar Mama, not including her brothers and sisters.
right. And listen, everybody was up in arms about that baby, about the kids being in the back and all that stuff. And I was like, I am curious if they were filming and if he had the baby if they had them the way they were, because
And you know what else Carlos edited out?
what's that?
Marceau saying that Tiffany should be smacked for that.
Oh, he did?
He,
You think he edited it
yes,
out?
that's edited. That's edited out of the show that came on TV.
Oh, okay.
That part, all they showed at the end. If when you watch it again, or if you watch it again, pay
I'm gonna watch.
close attention. There at that last part, they only show Lewis getting ready to go at Martell and him standing there arguing, but they don't show Marceau saying she was supposed to have been smacked for that S. They don't show him saying that.
I'm gonna go back and check it
They're
out.
always protecting those Scots because he saw how everybody was in an uproar and upset about him basically threatening the pregnant woman.
It was wild, but yeah, I mean, it was wild. I agree with you 100%. Love Jazz said that I think Martell told Destiny what she needed to do in order to get on the show, pitch to Carlos, which only makes sense because she could have easily went through the cast. And also, y'all, remember Martell even told this story, like Destiny and Martell had very similar stories about how she got on the show. And it was Melody and Carlos in this last meeting where Carlos said, I did not want Destiny on the show. I didn't think she had what it took. And he would have been right. But she said, I didn't think she had what it took. I did not want her there. And it was Melody who went to bat for her. And I was like, that's a damn shame that girl and also,
that's why it was easy for him to edit her right on out, because he didn't want her in the dang first place.
He didn't want her in the first place. And just think about all the time she was like, I don't understand this reality TV thing. I'm a real actress. I'm a thespian and all this other stuff. I'm like, Heffa, you actually paid the meeting. You paid the fee to do what Melody is doing.
And got turned down.
It got turned down, okay? Took that little $2,000 and ran with it. Anonymous.
Hello, the boss. Pretty brown eyes. Your analysis is so fabulous. Oh,
Hey, Anonymous.
nothing but love.
What is going on?
Why is it I have a feeling OWN and Discovery is in serious legal liability?
Uh-oh. Do tell. What are you saying here?
Well, let's just recap, people, the hostile work environment from the beginning to the end, shall we?
We shall.
Let's talk about Hotel attacking at Melody 3 times in Vegas, and Carlos Queen saying that that's his favorite scene
Oh, wow. God, I missed that part, child. Where can I find that?
in a podcast he did. He
Oh,
said
wow.
he loved Vegas. I think he was talking to Legs, Hips, and Breasts and Letitia,
Okay.
talking about the Vegas was his best scene.
I have to go back and check that out. Go ahead.
Um, now I'll just give some highlights.
Okay.
The of the hostile work environment. You got the whole Madani situation.
Hmm.
The IG live is worse than what they showed on TV, especially if from what Vanessa said during an interview with On Ann, and it might have been you, DyanaRozay, that
Uh,
Maurice sucker punched Martell or Hotel first to
I remember
start the
that. I
fight.
was talking about that with my sister a little bit earlier, and I think she said it on the IG page for the Love and Marriage Huntsville IG page. I forgot
Yes.
the young lady's name, but yes, I know who you're talking about. She
Yeah.
actually said it over there because that's when she also said that she has a license to carry and all those things, and she had a police officer driving through her neighborhood. I believe she said all of that over there.
Yeah. Another scene, or at least what Melody did to protect herself, either the fourth season, she took an order of protection against Martell for a year. And that's why they couldn't have them filming any scenes. It was done that season.
Okay, right. I remember
Um,
you guys saying that too.
correct.
And she said she needed a break. That's what she told. All of these things to protect him. To protect him.
Yes. Well, no, it's because she has to protect her children. It's a little complicated. You're dealing with the case because nobody, regardless of how I feel about Martell or Hotel, he has children. You want him to be better, not get worse.
I agree.
Um, because it's the kids and also family, you name it. But this is the part where own Love and Marriage Huntsville, the production, you know, Melody and Vanessa have a case against you. And this is the problem. You're not taking or heeding the warnings. The reunion 3 clip, where it is now confirmed by Melody, as was been alluded by other content creators, that he terrorized everybody on the set and should have been let go, period. Or more importantly, as Queen Sheba stated, been on an indefinite leave of absence to get his mental health in check, and it could have been paid. They
Mhm.
should have done that. So now you get to this scene where Pretty Brown Eyes talked about it. Him and Marceau, or I call him Legs, Hips, and Breasts, threaten a pregnant woman. The first episode where he's asking Melody to pray for him, and
Mhm.
when she wouldn't, it looks kind of odd. And then, I have a legal background. That's why I'm saying this, at least in family law and other things deal with the DV issue. He looked like if she went out with him, he might have done something to unalive her that night.
Oh my
So
God.
that's why she needed to stay away. So you're dealing with somebody who I believe, in my opinion, allegedly is in the midst of a narcissistic rage and a narcissistic collapse because his whole world is coming to an end.
That is
Okay.
definitely true.
And
That
people need to, it's sad because a lot of people think, oh, he wears a nice suit, he has a smile, he has muscles, he says things of that nature 25 times and only say 20, that he's okay. No. Now, some of you might have the same issues as he does, but it's what if something happened to her or the girl or anybody else? Allegedly, let's say it, he possibly did something to the peasant, which caused what's going on. So, Melody's creating the castle, but we, as the consumers, as well as even the production company, you have a duty to make sure that you don't have people on the set be in a hostile work environment where their life is in danger. And you can do steps like have him have an indefinite leave, or more importantly, go to therapy in a psych ward where he's isolated from society, or other things to make sure that you're protected. And somebody is in love with Martell and is willing to look the other way. I don't know who it is who has power, but somebody is covering for him.
Yep, that is obvious. That is obvious. Yeah, the information keeps pouring out there. And
Behind every man, what he did to her, the people there, that should have been a criminal action brought against him. So he might have had to do probation or something else just to have a warning. But everybody looked the other way. There's just too much. And what's sad is, I think I told you 2 nights ago that I believe he is, in my opinion, allegedly, he is exhibiting the traits, 10 traits of a narcissistic sociopath, where he has a God complex. He thinks his world is the world, and he will do whatever he can to destroy whoever has done something to destroy him.
And it's a mind game too. I mean,
Yep.
people who've dealt with narcissists, people you recognize it once you're out of it. But if you're not in it, if you've not dealt with it before, you're charmed by them, quote unquote. For whatever reason, people are charmed by it until they get burned by it. And that happens a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the reason why, because they're acting. They're wolf in sheep clothing. You only see the sheep clothing. You're not seeing that they're a wolf. And that's why I say right now, if it's true, Melody is bringing it out. She's had enough.
And
she's tired of protecting.
And they have a way of getting people to believe their story. So if he comes to them with this, woe is me, this is happening. Like, you remember how Destiny used to get all bent out of shape when people were like, oh my God, Melody is going through. Why are you so upset about Melody? Why don't you care about me? Kind of thing. Martell has a way of becoming a victim to people.
Well, I think let's say this. Destiny, I think, is a female narcissist, in my opinion, allegedly. He's a narcissist as well, but probably the sociopathic version. But there are others. I think Stormy is one. I think the peasant is one. I think Marceau is one. I think, to an extent, Maurice is one. I think Latifah, I call her, but Letitia is one. I mean, I think Carlos Queen is one. I think they're all they all have that type of trait where they want to be. To me, in my opinion, allegedly, it's an idol worship. They want people to idolize them only. And normal people know you don't need to be idolized. You know, people can be different. People can say no. People can get out of contracts. I mean,
things in perspective, because we don't know them personally. On the show, they all exhibit these characteristics.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it was just my opinion, just looking behaviorally. I would think they have the characteristics of that, allegedly, in my opinion.
Sure that nobody has a conniption coming after me. We are talking about what we see on the show, which is fine. We are chit-chatting about the show, all things reality TV. Okay. We have 364 of you, and in the chat, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Please hit the like button. And then I have Glam Rocks, who I pulled you up. I want to hear what you have to say, ma'am. And you all are welcome to stay up on the panel.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi.
So I'm usually on everyone's live listening. Now, I listened to Anonymous on several times for several years. And I just wanted to come on here and say, mostly everything that she says about a narcissist characteristic is correct. I was in family court for 3 years because I can relate to Melody. No one believed me about things I had to do. My attorneys.
First. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just about to say you were in family court as a mother who is trying to get her children.
Well, I was going through a divorce, and he wanted to get full custody. But in order for me, he played the character of the good guy so much, even my family didn't believe me. I felt isolated and hurt because nobody would believe me. So my attorney, she's a Black woman. However, she's of Jamaican descent. I'm of Haitian descent. When I came to her office and I was crying, she's like, look, I'm going to help you. I cannot give these things in court, but I need you to record him privately.
Oh, wow.
So I recorded him privately on the things he would say and the things he was doing, and how the kids would get scared and run to their room, because you could hear the kids like, Mommy, I'm scared of Daddy, and things like that.
Wow.
But if you met my ex-husband, you would say something's wrong with her. That's how nice he acts. That's how soft tone he spoke. Like, nobody would believe me.
I believe. And I don't even know him. I believe you because I've experienced that firsthand. I
Okay.
know how those characters are. And I was not in a relationship with this person, but I worked for somebody who was like, I called him Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because they could turn it on and be somebody completely different and then
Absolutely.
go into another room and become the
A
devil.
monster.
Absolutely.
Long story short, it took me 3 years to get the divorce, but because she listened to the recordings, she was able to go into family court, and she was able to, write these things in affidavit. I mean, going back to court. He know I didn't have the resources, but he kept me in court just to deplete me so I can come back. You understand? Like, so I can depend on him. And
Wow.
that's why I love seeing Melody thrive, because guess what? She doesn't have to go back to him for anything. She doesn't need to beg him for literally anything. So literally with that, they were able to make him get therapy. He had to get therapy. He couldn't see the kids for 6 months.
Wow.
Once he got the certificates of completing anger management and therapy, that's when he got visitation. But we had to go to the courthouse, to the family courthouse building. It's
Mhm.
like on the third floor here in Florida, to where it was supervised visits, even after he finished for about a year. Now he gets the kids in the summer,
Okay.
but it took him a long road to get there. So I can understand what Mel is going through. And people play Jackal and Mr. Hyde. It is crazy, but mostly everything that she says about that type of characteristic is very true.
Very true. I agree with you, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Hi, Miss Brenda Jones. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much.
Diana, I just wanted to say real quick, the
Mhm.
glamorous. I thank you for telling the Diana and the chat and the panel that that is probably the process that would go. Because I think a lot of people in my jurisdiction where I'm at, that's what would happen if somebody is considered to not be fit to be with the children. They have to go through the mandatory psychological evaluation and pass the test. And then, like you said, it will go to a supervised visitation at the court where a person has to be there with them. There wouldn't have any overnights yet. And then they'll start getting the overnights after they successfully get to the second round. So that's usually if again, allegedly and true, if what Melody is dealing with Martell or Hotel, that's what you will see happen where he doesn't have the kids. He has to go through the tests, pass them. And then when he gets supervised visits, it's going to be with the court. It's having someone monitor it. And then if he passed that type of section, then he might get something like in the summer or something like that. But having what he had on and off joint every week, not if what happened allegedly 2 or 3 weeks ago with the peasant happened. They said enough's enough.
And exactly, this is why I believe this is the session that they're in right now. Not only because of what happened with his child mother, because of the outbursts on set. She's literally able to prove that because there's VPs. I mean, I do makeup on the side, so I work on set. So, I mean, you got a whole bunch of about 20 to 30 people who work on set who can vouch for what ever happened on set. Then you got the Vegas situation. So honestly, she has plenty of evidence or people, even if they're not willing to go, which the court can subpoena them to show up, to show his characteristics. And I believe that they're going through this situation right now. And that's why you're not going to really see him with the kids. I don't
Correct.
think she's won full custody yet. I just
No,
think
that the
they're in
case hasn't
transition.
finished yet. Exactly,
Yes, they're in
because you still
transition.
have, in my again, it's our opinion allegedly,
Our
they're still determining the issues. But if it's like my jurisdiction, they have to because, and let's be fair to Martell and
Miss Anand,
Melody at the time.
can
Yes.
I ask you a question first? What type of,
hmm
if you don't mind, what type of lawyer are you?
I'll tell you what characteristics I do. I'm a bankruptcy attorney. I do
Okay.
tax, and I also am a family law
Okay.
attorney.
Okay.
So I do.
Family law. Okay. Amazing. I'm glad that I know that now. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do dissolution of marriages. I also deal with paternity and child custody cases
Hmm.
and juvenile cases as well, dealing with those things. So in my jurisdiction, that's why when I try to explain on the panels, I usually am explaining from personal experience of what usually the courts do. And also people don't realize is some of the court personnel are narcissists too. So
I think the biggest profession is what? Doctor, judges, police officers,
military, they love going in because of the power and having people underneath. Correct.
Firemen.
But yeah, so it's more to have their ego stroked and to have people underneath them because they need that in order to feel important. But like you said, you want people to have balance. But I'm just thankful. Glamorous and even Pretty Brown Eyes were giving their perspectives. It's just for us as the public to understand this is what's happening. But I think we want, I don't want to be, because I know the children need both their mother and father in their life. You want Martell to change his course because what he's doing is destructive. He's not thinking in a way, how can I be better? Well, to be better, you have to be a better man. You have to be better for your children. And more importantly, you have to do right by Melody, your ex-wife. You really have to. If you do that, things will be better for you.
I say it all the time.
You can't view her as your enemy. You have to change course. I know you've been misled, but it's never too late to do the right thing. But the courts are going to help you do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But Anonymous, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dyana. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm going to let you finish your thought, then I'll share. Go ahead.
Well, my thought is that for some reason, they all think the same way. The comeback group, Carlos, even Martell, and some of the audience it's like they feel like the only way that he can be redeemed is if he's back with Melody. And it's like they will not let her go. They won't let him let her go. He won't let her go. Carlos won't let the idea of her go. With the comeback group, none of them won't let her go. Why can't everybody just do stuff on their own? Why can't Martell just accept the fact that he ruined his family and it's over?
Because he's not a person who's used to losing, and narcissists don't like to lose. They think that they can fix it all the time. And if they can't fix it, they're going to make your life miserable.
Yeah, they want control in essence.
But it's like it's not fair for them to make her the fix for it all. Because it seems like in every scenario, only if Melody would be my friend, or only if Melody would talk to me, or if she would call me, or if she was back in the comeback group, or whatever the case may be, it seems like they have made her both the solution and the problem. And how is that fair?
Well, it's not fair, Pretty Brown Eyes. And just to say this, because I know we have other people coming up, but what Melody, even though they don't change, this is why Melody is smart. She has recognized how to effectively end supply to people who have the characteristics of being a narcissist.
She sure has.
And I know she's listening to our lives to get it. So Melody, yes, I gave you legs, hips, and breasts. Yes. I gave you, he's the ringleader. I know I gave it to you because I was saying it loud and clear. You had to, who is the person that's causing this? But and the key is it's kind of like if you know who your enemy is, you can effectively create the castle to defend against it. And that's why they're completely going paranoid, because they're like, oh my God, she's contacting us through trap phones. Yeah.
You cut access.
Cut it off.
At the end
you have to treat them like a vampire. Cut them off.
She's figured it out, and everybody else is thinking that she's the same old Melody. And I was like, listen, I don't know who that Melody was that we saw on Friday, but that was a completely different Melody that she's ever.
And I love it.
And I love it too. I was like,
me too.
This woman, what is going on? And she was doing it, and she made sure, like right now, she's just in a place where I know I see the finish line and I'm going to get there.
And what it's doing, like I told you, Dyana, is 2 days ago, she knows it's going to be worse if she's going where she needs to go in Hollywood.
For sure.
Ask Angela Bassett. It's going to be worse. You still have to be able to work with your enemies. You have to know how to be professional. This is practice. So you don't take it personal, but you learn the craft of using what that you need to get from them to get what you need to get. And she will be effective.
Listen, every experience we have is setting us up for the next, right? So we just got to pay attention. Melody's taking it all in. She knows what she wants. And whereas before, to me, I felt like she felt responsible. What Pretty Brown Eyes was saying, why is everyone making Melody responsible for this, that, and the other? I also felt that Melody thought she needed to be responsible, including saying, I'm going to keep the show going so that this one can keep his lights on. And now she's like, I don't give a damn what happens next. I don't care. He can, die with all of it. It doesn't matter to me anymore.
You know why she can do that though, Diana?
Why is
The
that?
children are with her, in my opinion, allegedly.
Well,
See,
see, and
you can.
that's why I was thinking too,
Yeah.
Anonymous. That's why
Yeah.
I was saying I think she's one because he's too humble, and now he's being more cooperative than he's ever been.
than ever. Miss LaDon, how are you?
Hi, everybody. How are you? You are so beautiful. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming up. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for sharing their story. And let me just make sure I can talk to these people. We got 431 of you in the chat. Welcome. I appreciate you guys. If you can hit the like button, please. These ladies are sharing a lot of juicy information, so I appreciate it.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Miss LaDon, go ahead and share what you'd like to share. You can talk about anything.
okay. I'm sorry. This my little Nina is like a diva, and I'm kicking her out. You're evicted. You got to go. Go.
He doesn't like Martell either.
No, she chewed his ankles
Roof,
up.
roof. I'm gonna do it too. I'm
So
sorry.
I agree with Anonymous. I love you. I trail you. I agree
Thank
with
you. I love you too.
everything everyone is saying. I just realized that, the reason why we can say narcissist and sociopath so freely now is because we're more aware now. We got a lot of information now. See, back in the days, we knew stuff wasn't right, but we didn't have labels for them, or we didn't know what it was. Now you can see it. That's why there's a little bit in all of them. We can plainly see it. But as far as everything being on Mel's back, that's because they know Mel is a doer and a get it done. Before the show, she was getting the money by getting all the contracts. They know Mel is a go-getter. But what they thought was Martell had more control than he did. They thought by going through Martell was going to weaken Mel. Oh, well, just tell Martell, he'll make Mel go with it, But when she pulled that coat off and let them know she's not allowing them to treat her that way, I think their hatred is because they're weak and they know it. They know that she is powerful.
Yes.
I think what Stormy did today with I'm all right, I love it that they're talking about me, I think she's trying to do a Mel, but it ain't working because Mel's was organic the way she transitioned. We knew Mel was struggling, but she did it with class and just the way she did it. We know it bothers Stormy, but she's trying to act like it don't bother her, and somebody's pumping her up on the side like, you have to act like that, because they was mad that Mel didn't crumble in front of them. Oh, she act like she ain't hurt. She's hurting.
How they've changed. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. First, I'm just going to say thank you to Woman Within. Thank you so much for your donation to the channel. I appreciate you. But y'all remember for the first 2.5 seasons, they kept saying things like, we don't know what's going on with Melody. She never shares with us. We just never know. And it's like, what the hell? How is that even a storyline? They switched it from we don't know what's going on with Melody to Melody doesn't call us and tell us her business. Wild. But go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
No, I agree. And my thing is, why would you want to tell somebody your business that that's going to throw it up in your face later?
Exactly. That's just people against you that don't care about
you. Like y'all are sick.
Yep, for sure. Absolutely.
And Martell, I think he knows he lost this battle in court. This is it. Mel said it. She said, y'all are going to be seeing me being a mother and more like that on the show this season. So she's telling us on hand she going to have them kids.
She gonna have them kids. She said it, and we saw it the first episode.
And he know it. But the scary thing is, once he don't have that no more, what's the next thing he's going to do? What is he going to do?
We'll find out. I guess he has a bed at the local jail cell, maybe. Baby girl 51 said, "Good evening, amazing content, ladies." And then she asked Anonymous if she had her own channel on YouTube. Yes, no, maybe Anonymous.
Give me a second. I'm actually talking to a client. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So Dana, I wanted to piggyback off of what LaDon said. A
Okay.
lot of people, even Ariane, and I sometimes I feel sorry for Ariane when she's not making these stupid videos, but then as soon as she opened her mouth, I'm like, that's why you're going through what you're going through. Yeah, because once I was in my 20s and I was impressionable because he was not married, but I did what he said because I thought he knew better. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So
Listen, we were all in our 20s once.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh no, for sure.
And one of the things I think a lot of them thought that because Martell talks a big game, that he was bringing in the money, that he was, he was doing all this. The money train, the money gravy has stopped because Melody dissolved the businesses and Melody cut off the head of the snake.
Mm-hmm.
So now all the business, that's why they want her so bad to be a part of the comeback group, because at the end of the day, my cousin always said this to me: you got a direct line to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
When I get on my knees and somebody hurt me and I shed a tear and I go on my knees and I pray, oh, you best believe God, but God is going to move.
Let me tell you
And
something.
Melody
reason
has
why
favor
people-
attached to her.
The reason why people stay in abusive relationships in the first place usually have to do with them being afraid to take care of themselves or to start over again. For her,
Mm-hmm.
you know what?
Agree.
I'm going to cut this off right now. I'm resolving everything. I don't even want to think of what my life will look like if I have to stay connected to this BS. Even though she was on the show, I think she was just hoping that it could get better. I think she was hoping it could get better because the kids were there. But now, 3 years later, that she is still probably dealing with way worse than what she experienced in the marriage. She's probably like, I'm tired. I don't have nothing left. I got to
You
get
know
out.
what the sorry part is? Mel just wants Martell to be a better father.
I know.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know. That's the saddest part of the whole thing is that she really is. I said protecting, but at the end of the day, it's because she wants her kids who love and want their father. She wants them to be able to, respect him later, and for him to have figured it out, and he just hasn't done it.
Well, let's be honest. I'm sorry I had a client call, but Diana, we need to, if Melody is listening, Hotel needs an exorcism first. He
Bathed
needs
in
to be in
holy
a
water.
psych ward for an IV drip as well as the pill. After a period of time, you probably will have somebody that's more reasonable to be a parent. But until that happens, you got to keep your supply in the supply to him because he's not well.
Well, you know what, Dana? I agree with you. You know how we were saying that somebody has a rabbi? I
Mhm.
think his ultimate rabbi is Mel. And the reason why I think that it's her, because at the fight they were kind of on shaky ground, but when she saw that he was gonna fight and get it, she was like, please, Martell, stop fighting, your kids are here. She doesn't want his children to know that their father was in jail, or in any type of thing, or basically be like their grandfather. But it's almost seems like it's going to be maybe inevitable a little bit, because sometimes you can't stop people from being who they are. And that side of the family, it looks like that's what they are.
At the end of the day, they've both gone through a lot on TV. I
Yeah.
mean, like when you think about the stories that we have received, their honest and true story, and the fact that their story has carried the entire show. Like even now, that's why I was like, I can't believe they're giving us. They might not give us everything, but the fact that they promoted it as, do you want to see what's going on with Melody and Martell's co-parenting? When I read it, I was like, this has to be a joke. I didn't even think about it again. But when we saw the episode or the little clip this morning, I was like, holy crap. Did they really bring this to TV too? Like, know that that is something that they're giving. I shouldn't even say freely, but they're giving their life to this platform. Melody is giving a lot more than anybody else because she's hearing everybody else's BS. So Stormy's mama, Tisha's mama, Maurice, the other brother that's not even on the damn show. Like think of all of these people.
But there's a reason for that, Diana. Let's be honest.
Okay.
I believe, in my opinion, allegedly, this is about Carlos.
Yep.
In all fairness, even though people like the snorts, really? This is what you could find in Huntsville, Alabama? No. You know what I'm saying? You know, there seems to be a Michigan allegiance where Carlos is trying to put people that are loyal to him on behalf of Hotel, in my opinion, to try to make her be submissive to him. Because these are all people that are his friends. It just doesn't make sense. And the reason why I say this, allegedly, the Scots or Snots 1.0 didn't have a home. They were using the Holtz home that they had. So I'm like, how did they even pass if you were going to pass the whole image that they were the millionaires, you know, the business owners? Mm-hmm. And the fact that Vanessa had to help them with Schultz Industries.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, I know I have family that lives in Huntsville. I know there's plenty of more successful people than what I'm seeing on the screen.
Agreed.
And it would have been a better storyline, more fair and balanced, and probably what we would have seen like Cosby Show and A Different World in terms of having the longevity. Even Martin, where you would have the different type of personalities, but people could like each character and then you see them develop and grow. But there seems to be a different agenda. And I don't know. I mean, I said this on another live. I thought this was a money scheme. Uh-huh. I think they were trying to steal money from LeBaric as well as Melody and to get them out the way. And I just think luckily LeBaric and Melody figured it out and in supply to that scheme that was happening.
So this is what I remember. I just want to keep everybody on the same page. Now, I remember Melody doing an interview with Carlos King on his podcast, I think. Was it Carlos King?
Well, I call him Queen just on purpose because of the yes, but that's okay.
It was another lady, and I don't remember the name right now, but it was a radio podcaster, I believe. And she was talking about how, and I think it was on Carlos's podcast too, about how the Scots actually came on, and they were saying that they were a part of the videos that Melody had. She had already hired a film crew, and they were doing little skits and sending them out to people. So when they were all friends, they were doing it, and not knowing that their friendships were going to, you know, fall by the wayside later. But when those friendships broke up, those reels were still out there with producers, and they got a chance to look at them. So it wasn't like they handpicked them. I think they initially thought that they would be friends still taking the journey, and it just didn't work out that way.
I know, but the sad thing is, I just think the reason why it didn't work, you know, we always said hindsight is 2020, is because they were not equally yoked in business. I think out of all of them, Kimmy with her nursing was on a level that was par with Melody.
Yes.
But the others didn't. That's why I said, that's why they to me, they were so clingy to Melody because they needed her to start the business. They need her to even do the comeback group. I mean, it's like you can't think outside your own mind.
They
They need
still
her
need
to
And
her.
speak. Tisha
well,
can't
we know
even
that
speak.
Marish, yes, exactly.
Expo. I mean, get for real.
Does
Expo.
I'm sorry.
Who's gonna take her serious in a meeting?
I'm going to thank Cookie from the Shy. Thank you so much for donating to the channel. She said Carlos seems to be enjoying the drama, and that is true. But yeah, I agree with you. Now, y'all watched the interview, or not interview, but the recap with Melody and Carlos on Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then did you hear him say that he was really looking for another couple to come on and be more weighted on Melody and Martell's side when they were together, because he knew that the Scotts, it was too heavy having two team, the Scott brother or the Scott family, that the Scott family actually made the show unbalanced. Did you hear
Yes.
him say that?
Mm-hmm.
So
What was
he
that?
just said that, but beforehand he
Yep.
thought they were great with the spinoff.
Oh, I don't know how he decided to move forward, okay? But what I do know is that he hears what people are saying and he knows that this is some BS. Even now, I'm hoping that all is well, but even with Kimmy this season, because y'all know last season she took steps backward, but going back and saying that Kiki was talking about her cousin with Melody. Why are you talking to these people about your cousin? I would never do that and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is so ugly. But now this season, she's saying in confessional, I do consider a Melody a friend after the reunion happened. And
But
Melody,
she was looking at her feet, Dana.
huh?
She was looking at her feet,
Oh,
and it almost looked like she was at gunpoint when she said it.
listen, that's what I said. I said, listen,
She
Look at
said it
Pretty
under
Brand.
duress.
I don't
That's
know
what gets
how
me
true.
skeptical about Kimmy.
But I do know that Melody and Tisha don't get along. Carlos said that there is a meeting between Melody and Tisha that we're going to see play out this season. And he said that Melody was very open to have it. And I actually want to see what goes down, because I swear to you, the problem I have with the show is that every single body that comes onto this show ends up migrating, not even so much to Marceau, but to Tisha. And I don't know what the hell. What happened between these two where people automatically want to pick a side when they come on? I
Because
don't
they
get
call
it.
them, I think they call them, Tisha is like someone I know. She probably gets in contact with them like, I didn't know what I did. Playing the victim, I didn't know what I did. I was such a good friend to her. I don't know why I can't hear from her. And you automatically, if you're an empath, feel sorry for her.
I'm
And so you
sorry.
feel like you need to defend her. You need to be her friend. Like you want to replace Melody for her. She's playing victim behind the scenes.
I'm telling you, every time I watch it, I'm just like in shock. Now, Marceau, yes, Marceau is for me, him and Tisha are the same. But at least when Marceau comes in a room with Melody, he becomes somebody different. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to
Well,
engage.
he has to. He
He
has to
speaks
because
up.
he has to wear that girdle to be upright.
You're
Yes,
right. He knows
allegedly, in my
how to
opinion.
do it though. He can make
He
it
can't breathe.
funny or okay. And you guys, the other thing is, and I'm sure he does it without. I know Tisha doesn't like it when he does it. Is he finds a way to compliment Mel or say something to say, "I think you're doing a great job," or "I
Mm-hmm.
like who you are," or something to that
Mm-hmm.
effect. And I'm
He
always,
know he like Melody.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Who wouldn't like Melody? Look at his own wife. Come on now. I
When
just
he's
saying.
with Tisha, it's always a big game. Like rah rah rah, we're against Melody. But as soon as he's in her company, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to make it okay. Just like Melody said at the reunion, that man, after all that went down, Mel, come give me a hug. Oh, don't be like that. What?
He know
Right.
when to
I
be a
just
queen.
love the fact my sorority sister said legs, hips, and breasts, and it made him quiet like E.F. Hutton.
Okay.
Even with
But you
all
know
of
what?
that. Uh huh.
You know what, Dana? What he does do to add on to what you said,
Uh huh.
although he gives her compliments, he does also insult her
Oh, for sure.
to make Tisha feel better about herself too.
Absolutely. I agree
So
with you.
he does
That's one of the
both.
things I said I don't, and he don't just insult her on the show. He insults her in the comments on Facebook.
Of course, he has.
Mhm.
I have read some things from Marcel where I'm just like, "Woo, this is not cool at all." The stuff that you are saying about this woman, you don't have that kind of relationship with her. Like, there's no reason for you to talk about her body parts or nothing else. And the way he will do that, and every time he's done it, I've always been like, I wonder if him and Tisha just got into a fight about Melody, and he has to do this public.
I think he likes making her be a lap dog. And you
Who?
also have somebody backstage if you wanted to know.
What's the
Marcel?
word, Anonymous? He triangulates Melody and Tisha
Yes, narcissistic
to make her.
triangulation.
That's what he does.
Who do I have backstage? I had a message from someone who was trying to get on.
Is it being real?
Yeah, but I don't see her here.
I
And I
don't know
don't.
if she dropped. I was just letting you know I saw the message.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Yes,
I
I
wanted to
saw
bring up
backstage,
this.
but she says backstage. It says, I'm so sorry. Let's go ahead. Being real. If you're trying to come back up, please do. I'm waiting for you.
I would like your lady's opinion. I honestly think this Melody got with her manager, her people, and they literally told her to lay back this year. This is why Carlos is begging like a lapdog. Melody is gonna see it. Let them carry this show since Carlos King love allowing them to do what they want to do to disrespect her. I love how Melody is taking a back seat. So, in my opinion, well, let me ask you guys: do you think that Melody is taking a back seat to allow Carlos to see that they cannot handle or carry on the show?
I don't necessarily think that, but I think Melody is allowing them to show their true colors on their own. Like she's putting herself in situations that brings their character out and show them in a light that people don't really see, like how she did with the Tea Party. I think that was like lifting the veil. Like, you know how you and a person are going at it, and you're the one that stay quiet, and you be like, oh, look, she's crazy. Like, look at her screaming and yelling. Like, I
Well,
think
she
you'll see,
embraced being bougie, I think, Ladon. She
and I'm okay
embraced
with
that.
that. But I think that's what I think she's keeping her truth, but allowing them to show who they are, whether it's good or bad. I think she's just making her the show that she loves work.
Well, I don't think that she's taken a back seat. I think she's taken a front seat and putting on her producer hat to produce a show.
Yes.
I feel that she is taking the high road and going against how she personally feels about these people and treating them as they are,
Mm-hmm.
her
Mhm.
co-workers.
I agree with you.
She's
I'm
gonna
Co-work.
she's gonna work with them and produce her show and go on about her day. And I don't want to hear anybody say after we film, how come you don't call me? I don't like you. I don't know you. You're my coworker. Go to work or
one of the
get
Say
off
it
the
again,
show.
pretty.
I think one of the best things they did for this season, even though I did miss it, is that there was a rule not to get on the internet and do certain things, because we saw Marceau um, produce all of last season for the most part, right? With the first, he did it with the boys trip picture, and then him and Tisha and all. It just felt made up to me.
Staged,
Um,
yeah.
Right.
did he actually send that picture out to the blogs? Because I don't feel like this is honest. I don't feel like they're giving us honest television at this point. At least the
Well,
reaction to it didn't seem honest. Maybe it actually happened, but I feel like their reaction to it was not. That was staged. Like, we're just gonna have this conversation in the car, and I'm gonna squeeze out some tears. I just didn't feel it was real. Um,
well, I'm
per-
just trying to figure out how that scenario that you just talked about, how it started with him and his brothers in hotel and ended up not being discussed at the reunion, and
yeah,
everybody's mad at Mel. Make that make
Mm.
sense to
yeah.
me,
Mm.
That's the
because
other thing, girl. Thank you.
none of it made sense.
None of it made sense. So that is two that would make 2 reunions where we did not get Atisha and Marceau. We didn't have them come to any type of, resolution on that stage. They turned it on Mel. Tisha went and got that stupid ass puppet, which took up way too much time. And they really should have been talking about the photo. They should have been talking, at the very minimum, everything that happened the year before when this man went to counseling and supposedly to Africa. All these things, nothing came up. And they had a decent storyline, but they just weren't willing to give it. And
But remember, Dana, Marceau did say him and Carlos had a conversation, and in order for Marceau not to quit the show, that they did not have to speak about their lives. So basically, everybody was just riding on getting a check on Mel's coattail.
Mm.
But guess who had the real conversation with Carlos, the real big dog, and she really put her foot down and laid it on the table. And you don't see all of that back and forth in those comments either about what's going on the show. So the internet is not depicting what's going to happen on the show.
You're right, and I agree. And that I'm waiting. I was reading in the comments. Paulette said, "I'm still trying to figure out how Basement Billy got involved." And I want to say, Paulette, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I felt this. Some scenes were just inauthentic. I felt the show was being produced by the Scotts, and they were bringing in things as smoke and mirrors to have us forget all the other stuff. And then they decided on the reunion stage, we're killing the that Marceau cheating storyline.
Not Paulette being a Scott.
I think that too, but I think also they wanted to force Melody to get out.
You think they
wanted her to get off the show and allow it to be just a Scott production.
Right. And Destiny was down with it. She thought she was going to get a part. They wanted to push Mel off that show.
I think they wanted her to be weak. Yeah. She wasn't. I think they wanted her to be weak. She's a producer on that show, so I think it's hard to do. But I do think that they wanted to break her.
Right.
They wanted her to break in front of the cameras, and they wanted people to see her a certain way. They didn't get it done. In fact, it backfired on all of them because we are looking at them like, who the hell are you? You're the monster. Like, no, whatever they tried to do did not work at all.
Well, you know why it didn't work, Diana? Let's be honest to all you content creators, you panelists, the people in the chats, and others. When you saw Melody was getting attacked, you used your critical thinking skills and created a platform to rally people that thought like you to come to her aid.
And we're here, baby.
And we here in full effect. Now, she's my sorority sister. I was about to come up there and whoop some tail on Madani that day. Bring holy water for Vanessa to throw it on them so they can melt. But I didn't get it. But I, at least in terms of what I have a legal background and accounting background. So what the content creators, like I would tell De Silva and others, you allowed us to tell, well, this is how we can fight this. You're going to face evil. It's just, you can't do what evil does. You have to do the opposite to counter it.
The other thing that I think is interesting, people forget how quick and how smart the internet is. Like, people can do something at 8 a.m. and by 9 p.m. they'll know their job, where they work, like where they live, and have their entire information on the, all over the internet. And for whatever reason, everybody on the show, not everybody, but a lot of them, always think they're smarter than the internet. Like bringing storylines like, she didn't call me. She changed her number. You know that's not good. You know that can't be a storyline for you, right? Because everybody who's watching this show, for the most part, they're black. They're black women who have kids, and you know what our lives are like. We're not waiting for people to call us. Exactly. You barely can answer the phone when someone calls. You're looking at like, damn, I got this, and this to do. So for a woman who's supposed to have all of this going on, she wasn't heartbroken about not talking to Melody.
But who wants to talk to them? Aren't you busy? I'm busy.
no, that's the whole point. Nobody wants to talk to them specifically, but they have to do better than thinking that you could be this business mogul. You want everybody to think you running around, doing whatever at work. And me and Courtney did this, and I'm doing this. You're doing these videos all the day. I'm the marketing queen, but you're waiting for Melody to call you or to answer a call. That makes no sense. And her even walking into the party on Saturday, first episode, and saying, this isn't me. This is some fake shit, right? This is fake. All of these people, we haven't seen each other since the reunion wrapped, and they're all in here acting like they're best of friends. I don't do that. Then
It's
why
work
are
for
you
them.
on this show? Huh?
It's work for them. You know
It's
what?
work.
This
That's what I
young
said. I
lady,
was like, she hasn't figured that out yet, and she's already been, this is her third go round, but second year on this show. Get out of here. She's
Is
basketball
she on the
wives.
slow
But
boss, the
but guess
slow
what,
Yes,
bus,
she's
or
Dyna
on.
eight
and
glue?
Anonymous? Guess what
Yeah.
happened though? They used her to take her away from Mel, to take a number from Mel, to isolate Melody, and then as soon as they did whatever they did, remember they had that big meeting where they showed them all at dinner talking about what they were going to do at the reunion.
yeah.
After she did her part and said, "Well, I don't know, we associate, we're getting to know each other. I don't know her," basically. And if Destiny is aggressive, then I guess I'm aggressive.
I'm aggressive.
Okay. Okay,
What did
boom.
she say about her? She was like, we were able to squash it because what did she say? Great minds think alike. What did she say?
I have no idea, but
I'm
I
not
think she's on the
sure.
slow bus, ate glue, and did both because
But
that's
as
just slow, baby.
but
She
as
was,
soon as she did what she was supposed to do in the Scots' eyes, when the Scots thought they won, they dropped her off at the corner, and now you done made Melody. Melody's not talking to her, and now y'all not really talking to her, and she's sitting there right back where she started from, trying to find an ally. That's why she was sticking close to Dusty, and Dusty has edited out the whole show. So she
I
that's
messed
don't
what
even
up.
I'm saying.
She picked the wrong team.
show did.
Glamorous, how can we say it? How do you fumble a bag with AAA credit? How do you fumble a business mind?
Because
You want to make money. No, I want to lose money. What?
she
I
went
just
against
don't
that
get
boy
it.
mama. She went against his mama. And he is a mama's boy, and you cannot go against a man mama.
Show can.
Period.
But
Y'all see my
Destiny,
picture? Y'all see that little boy behind me? It's seven of us, and my mom is still living. And we have a little contentious family arrangement. Some of us speak to each other, we don't. But kids don't understand that,
Right.
right? My son, but everybody likes my son because he plays football and he went to college, in college, and whoopie whoop, right? But whenever they fell out with me, you know what he told him?
What?
Till y'all get it right with my mama, I'm not talking to none of y'all.
I know
Damn.
that's right.
So whatever y'all think, I'm y'all favorite nephew, but that's still my mom.
That's so
Right.
I don't give a damn what y'all think.
people
And
don't
that's
do
what
that
and
at
that's what
all.
Le, and that's what LeBaric did with his mom and his family. Period.
It's eating them up to see Mel and LeBaric get along so well. They're business-minded people, and they never did anything to each other. Once the demon was out of the picture, they were able to to work together and to be okay. Now the Scots, they're struggling right now. They're struggling for a storyline. Their business is struggling. They literally, if they could beg Melody, Melody, can you please come into Schultz? Melody, can you please just make a visit to our bar? They want Melody so bad because they have nothing going. They're not even business minded people. They were only having a good business because Melody was attached to them.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what we get for dealing with maggots. Thank you, Martell Hotel, for bringing us the maggots.
Child.
Ugh.
Look, Ty said, sounds like Anonymous watch Monique stand up comedy. You watch her stand up, girl?
I don't, but I might have to if it really is happening. Legs, hips, and breasts, La Fish, La Order, Dusty Destiny, Horizontal Blowfish. How do you fumble a bag with AAA
Girl,
credit? I just can't. I mean, this is a recession, a depression. We got egg prices are so high, nobody could get eggs. They had to use potatoes
you know
to
what's
do the
crazy?
Easter egg hunt. And these people are messing up money with Melody. I don't get it. I don't get it.
This
Yeah.
man got a credit thing, taking people money every month. He's not helping people. And I literally had my credit score go up 55 points on my own. All I did was do my research and did what I had to do. And I'm close to 800. I'm missing 15 points. So
Hmm.
to everybody who is with Marceau thing, and I'm not Marceau, what they call the brother name? What's his name?
Margarine.
Tommy.
Which
Tommy
brother?
from Martin, because
Credit,
he don't got no
Maurice.
job.
Maurice.
Just call him
Maurice.
Tommy.
Y'all just
I
go
heard
ahead.
Maurice, but Maurice is okay. But yeah.
Y'all go ahead and Google what y'all need to Google. Send out these letters. Get you a credit card, pay on time, and you can raise your credit score and get stuff off your credit yourself.
Well, that's what the people been doing, but they can't stop him from reaching his hand in their bank account. That's what they're trying to stop, and they haven't raised anybody's credit or really did anything according to the Business Bureau, allegedly.
Well, I'll tell you this. I actually do credit repair. You can do it a couple of ways. Bankruptcy is an option, either a 7 or a 13. Some people do 11 if you have businesses. That's restructuring of the debt. You can pay your creditors, at least with a 13 or 11, to kind of, if you can't pay them all 100%, you can do, some of it just to help improve your credit. They do debt settlement negotiations. Like if you have some money to give to the creditor, but it's not 100%, there's a tax implication where it'll be canceled debt to you. But if you're insolvent or you filed bankruptcy, you can avoid the tax implication.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, there's companies, if he did do a business, he could act like a JG Wentworth and the others, where they actually act as an attorney to do the debt settlement for you. But there's many things you can do. I just don't know what he's doing. And
It's
to
nothing.
me, that would have been effective if he would have showed us that he was doing that as a storyline. Because in this recession and depression, people are hurting. That would help people with the practices to help them improve. But
He's doing
I don't know what
nothing.
he's doing. Yeah.
We've never seen production show him at his office talking to customers, like having a consultation, doing video calls with his customers. What does he do other than getting a check from production?
Well, he could do a seminar, even if he didn't want, because of confidentiality. He could talk about the different ways with the people, to the public, to explain what options you have to repair your credit. But from what I've heard, allegedly, with the Better Business Bureau, he gets the business, but he doesn't follow through. And that's the part where people are upset.
I was reading something about that too.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Yeah, you get the money in. Yeah, you're puffing up. But that's the thing that I think Martell and the rest of them are, and even Stormy's like that. You got to finish things through completion. If you know how to do it from start to finish, you're building rapport, you're building better business habits.
And that's
Well, my
why they want
battery's
men.
about to go down. I have to plug up. But DyanaRozay, it has been lovely. Pretty brown eyes, LaDawn and glamorous. Love you guys. I'll let somebody else come up.
Bye.
I'm going to go back to do taxes here.
All right.
Anonymous.
Yes, I can hear you, Diana.
Okay. I need you to email me. If you could
Yes, ma'am.
Send me an email. My email is DyanaRozay. It's in the description box, 777@gmail.com. Because I have a question for you, okay?
Yes, I will send that to you and give you emails, and help you out.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Be blessed.
I want to say something about Kimmy real quick. My thing with Kimmy is, I'm all for you being submissive or having your man's back, but you also have to remain to have a mind of your own. And your man shouldn't pick your friends. When she sat on that stage and allowed him to say that they weren't friends, and she didn't really go for bat for it, and then after she got sick, it's like, are you using Mel? Like, because she is ride or die and the only one that's really been there for you? Or did this open your eyes? Did this make you really see that she is really not that person that they wanted you to believe?
It was hard to watch that happen. It really was.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And when she was on, when she did the recap with Carlos, and Carlos said, "You remember how you introduced Kimmy to me?" He was like, "You said, I think something's there. I don't know her that well, but I think something's there. You know, we can move forward with her." And then it turns out that she's the only one that, she's the only one who can remain neutral. I think that
Right.
she's the female version of Marceau when that happens. Like, she can come into the room and do XYZ. But the fact that Melody was like, "Listen, I know who you are. I know what you're trying to do. And there has never been a time, you didn't even have to ask me. All you had to do was say, I need," where I did not give you a suggestion, offer you somebody, send something over, whatever that had to happen to have been, right? And I think that really hurt her, because when she started open with season, or the first episode, she said, "I haven't seen or spoken to her since the reunion." Like, I'm letting you guys know up front. I dropped everything and said no, because she made Kimmy and Marie say, "Yes, anytime we've ever said we were in need of something, you've offered it. Anytime."
I think Martell had a meeting with the Scotts and everyone at the reunion, and the whole meeting and the whole point was to isolate and attack Mel, because there was the only person that was kind of neutral was Crazy, well, her crazy mama. What's her name right now?
Stormy.
I keep forgetting her name. Stormy. She was the
Stormy.
only one a
Stormy.
little bit neutral. I think everybody, you saw, even when Stormy, I think it was Stormy trying to say something nice, and Martell was like, "Oh, fall back. Fall back." Like, who are you?
Yep, fall asleep now. The thing with Stormy that really shocked me, I was shocked. I know I've read everybody's comments. People were sending me things all the time, and I was like, "That's not true. I don't know if I believe that." It was because I could not get that Stormy, the way she had presented herself when she was going on other people's channels and interviewing. She kept saying the same thing over and over. Oops, someone has a little bit of feedback. Is that you, Brandy?
I thought I was on mute, but let me see. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think that is her.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this and I'm going to let you speak too, okay? But the one thing that shocked me is that every time she went on a platform to interview about anything, she would always say, "I like everybody. I'm completely neutral. I don't have any problems with anybody." And to not have problems with anybody means that you don't take anything personally, right? And it was just wild to me how quickly that changed. How she was demanding something from this one and not actually, didn't give two cares about everybody else. Like, are you upset because she wasn't in that little silly video that y'all was dancing in front of Black and doing them crazy dances that everybody couldn't do?
They all look drunk.
Yeah, it was just
They really look stupid. So whoever wasn't in it was a blessing.
Martell wasn't in it either, but I don't think she given Martell that smoke, and she went to his supposed girlfriend's house to ring in the new year.
Well, Martell, he gave himself away on the reunion stage, when he said he told Stormy to fall back, and he said, "I told you, if she comes to you and and is cool with you, she's only doing it because she wants something from
She
you."
wants something from you.
But what does she want? Because if we want to be real, Stormy did not have skin. Stormy was only doing her hair care stuff.
Yep.
And Stormy got into the skincare after she saw the success of what Melody was doing, and she tried to come into an already #1 hit show and thought that the thought of her being a self-made millionaire was going to make her the queen of the show because she allegedly has more money, which I still don't believe, because she does not show any fruit of having more money with all of the problems that she's having with shipping and everything that she's kind of going through. And she was in court today too.
Pretty brown eyes.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can become a millionaire. However, you have to maintain that level If you're
Mhm.
going to keep getting lawsuits, you're going to keep getting complaints. I don't care how much money you put out in marketing, and I don't care how much lives and videos she do. You are not going to maintain that 1 million or make more to go to 2 million with the complaints and your attitude that you are given. I honestly think her coming on this show was bad for her. Canvas Beauty was doing well before everybody saw the person behind the brand.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But also to add to that, she had those complaints 2 years prior to even getting on the show. I believe, and I've said this before, this is my opinion, that she was doing the old bait and switch Ponzi scheme with her business. I feel that she got in and had a good product and oversold herself and took all of the money from the big companies to from the Walmarts and the CVS's allegedly to from her sales that she was running to pay for the production of those said products to go to the stores, hence why she has so many problems sending stuff out and how come it takes so long to process. I feel that everything is on kind of like a prepaid basis, but she's making it seem as if she already has everything stockpiled, and she doesn't. I think everything is being made to order, and she's got all of these big orders, and she's wanting to be
That
bigger
is
than what she is.
crazy. You have a point. I remember
Mm-hmm.
watching Brat Loves Judy, and they had the same thing. They had
Mhm.
overpromised something to Walmart, and
Yep.
apparently Walmart will drop you like a hot potato.
Mhm.
Don't have what they asked for when they asked for it. Because I remember it was like a big deal. Everybody was like, we got to get this product out. And she was like, I have to go and beg these people. Because she said they will drop you. Apparently, they give you a window, and if you don't meet it, you're out. No more contract. So
But think about that.
you have a point, and that's why so many people didn't get their stuff. She was saying it was growing pains, but it was probably because she had to get that product to where it needed to be.
And the last thing to add to that, she also she needed an influx of money. There's somebody's phone. But anyhow, she needed a huge influx of money. So she ran that $50,000 contest, but you had to pay
Oh wow!
so much to even be entered in it. Most of those
You had to pay to
complaints,
be in the
you
contest.
had to, like, say you have to order, I don't remember
Up to
Oh,
exactly how much it was.
2,000.
No,
oh,
no, 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 not the 2000 scam allegedly. The Black
Mm.
Friday scam was she was running a $50,000 giveaway. Remember when she was dancing all stupid with that big wad of money in her hand
yeah,
in the cat suit doing
yeah,
that dumb dance?
yep.
You had to order, like, say $200, $300 worth to even be entered
In the contest, in
in
the
the
raffle.
contest.
Okay.
So everybody ran to win $50,000. Hey, that's easier than playing the lottery. You have a better odds.
So did anyone
But
win?
it has yet to be announced. No one has been announced, and those people have not got their products yet because in my opinion, the money that she got from that big in from that sale, she used to cover her overhead for those big stores that she had to get out, and now it's almost like she's behind. And if you listen to her live, she says she trusted the wrong people and she's underwater, and she was using very, very vague stuff, but the bottom line is she overpromised and was too busy she wanted to use the show to sell herself, and she thought that just by being on the show, that's her free advertising. But she can't do what Melody does because Melody has been branding herself since before the show. She said since back in college.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Everything
And
you
we
said.
can't relate to Stormy because we don't know her, and she didn't even give herself a year before she already turned on Melody.
That's true too.
85% of the fans that watch the show are Melody fans. So if you turned on Melody, baby, you're done.
That's
So
true.
do you think she got a black collar crime going on?
I don't know. I want to hear from Miss Brandy. Let me say we have 555 people watching and in the chat, and then I have 475. Thank y'all for even getting me to 475. But if y'all can get me to 500, that'll be amazing. Thank you so much, and I appreciate everybody that's on the panel. So, Miss Brandy, I think this is the first time I'm talking to you.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, my name is Brandy, and yeah, this is my first time being up here. I'm from Miami. I've been on a couple lives before.
Okay.
Hey,
But
Brandy.
hi.
I'm
hi,
in
hi,
Miami
hi.
too.
I'm okay.
Glam Rocks, you're in Miami too?
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
I
in
am.
Miami.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I haven't been drinking tonight, so you might have heard me on a live where I've been acting up a little, but I'm pretty chill tonight. It's a good day. It's a Monday.
It's a Monday,
But
and it's after Easter.
okay, let me start by saying I'm 29, so I'm kind of young, and I'm just trying to evaluate this show from a mental place because I'm in graduate school and I'm going to school for social work. I counsel. So right now I'm doing depression and anxiety, but I also did other other counseling opportunities, but I get to work with different people. And
Mhm.
so I see each individual on this show, and I don't try to get heavily invested. I really don't even watch the show anymore. Like I watched the first episode, but usually toward the ending, I start fading off because it's a lot and this show becomes very toxic. And I really feel like it's the people on the show. And it's like a lot of people like to blame Melody. I'm not a super Melody fan, but I really like Melody. And unfortunately, I like Kimmy too, but I think Kimmy is a strategizer. And I think her only weakness is really Maurice. I don't know what it is about his limit herself that she really liked because she found him on a sofa and he was a barber. He had bad credit. So I don't know I don't know what was the I gotta talk to him thing. She was like,
Child, when she
I
told the
don't
story, I was shocked.
exactly. I'm like, Kimmy is gorgeous, have multiple
Very
things
pretty.
going for herself, and she wanted him. I could understand Tisha. Tisha had all these degrees, but she wasn't doing nothing with them. So I could see how she ended up with Popcorn Marceau. I could see why she ended up with him. But going on to Stormy, I really thought I was gonna like Stormy because that's where y'all just ended off on. And I just want to be quick with her because I feel like I was bamboozled a little bit. And so that's why I don't try to get invested in these people because I thought Stormy was a around the way type of girl. She sound a little hood or whatever. But she got her business and she made money. I
Yeah.
thought, she got a little temper, she gotta learn how to act or whatever. But then it's like now that the show has how she done been on the show for a minute. Like last season she was trying to be Zen Stormy, like with the
With
sage and the
the sound bowls.
when
Yeah.
she didn't even know how to use the sound bowl. Like I'm like, like I see Stormy just change her personality to try to see what fits every season to see if somebody if she started to get some fans or something.
She's the
Cause
most changed.
she
I
she's a
said the
little
same thing. I actually said when I first heard her story, I'm not even making this up. I remember she got on a live and I was listening to her talk about how Melody came over and brought flowers and all this stuff. And she was talking about how she was making the oil in the kitchen, going to work at the beauty salon. I was like, this is the best story ever, and that people
mm-hmm.
need to see that you don't have to do it a certain kind of way. That you can, there's other ways to get things done. And I
Exactly.
like that she was a little bit unconventional what people think a millionaire should look like. And I was like,
Exactly.
perfect. This
My
is
thing,
a perfect platform for a Black woman to come on.
exactly. That's why I feel like I was bamboozled by her. And my thing is, you're supposed to be a millionaire. You came on here, you shouting out 40 million. Every time you turn around, I got $40 million. I got 40. I'm a millionaire. Da, 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 da. My big fancy house and my million farm animals and my deer that come out the woods. Okay, girl, we got you.
Okay,
But you come into like you're going to an empty warehouse with a bunch of products where people saying they ain't getting their products. Like, where the people who work there at? Like, it seemed like y'all don't. Then you got yourself packing stuff on live. You got that from Melody, because why would you be packing your stuff when you a 40 millionaire person, like, and you got a warehouse? Why you ain't got people working in your warehouse? Like, you supposed to be a businesswoman. You supposed to be been doing this. Like, I don't get what Stormy
But
is
you know
doing with
what?
herself. Like,
I believe her when she says she used to pack her stuff up at home and send it to. My problem with it is she gets too triggered when people say things to her. Like, you might not want to
mm-hmm,
go online if you get triggered every time, because if you felt secure where you were, that stuff wouldn't bother you at all.
exactly. Especially with the way that she looks. First of all, I don't like the way people talk about the way she looks, because I feel like black people come in, well, people in general come in different shades, and like their nose or whatever, the bell pepper nose or whatever. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't matter. But the thing about it is, you say you always felt beautiful. You felt beautiful. This and that. You go online every other week and then tell people, oh, you never felt this ugly, or oh, you feel beautiful, or
She
you
did.
are beautiful, and you.
Brandy, I'm happy you on here, okay? Because those are some of the feelings I had too. I said the same thing. I said, you get on here and you will say stuff like, I don't care if y'all talk about my nose, and then she'll turn her lip up to her nose. Let me show you what I can do. And did it, and it's like, girl, I'm not saying
Yes,
not to do it. I'm just saying that if you're saying that your skin is thick, then let it be thick. You can't sit here and
exactly.
cry about it and then ask people to make fun of you the next day. It's not how it works.
And then don't have these stank ass attitudes where you done became the new Destiny, and so Destiny got the blowfish face and you got the stank tooted up nose, like big. Like, I don't know what Stormy, like, I say you so whatever about them talking about your looks, but then you make these faces. Like, stop making these faces on here to get them something to screenshot or talk about, or like, girl,
Does it on
oh.
purpose. That's my point. I'm like, you do this stuff on purpose because you want people to talk about you. And when you
And
do,
then gonna come on
start
there and
crying,
cry.
it don't
And
make
then
sense to me.
and
It
then
don't.
I can her ghetto a mama, who I guess they say was a teacher once upon a time. I don't know who she was teaching. I have no clue. She
Farm
must have been
animals.
teaching she must have been teaching Martell, because he said he was a teacher too. I think that was physical education, because I can't see him as no teacher or nobody.
I can literally see him being
I
a PE teacher.
Yeah, like a PE teacher. I really be thinking Boss Baby be over there helping him, like, figure out sound out words and stuff. Like, when they be reading them books and he be sitting at that table, he don't be reading that. Why you don't be taking that time to read the builder's license book? Like,
All jokes aside, he does have limited vocabulary because things of that nature.
oh, you know
Since
what? Oh, yeah,
the
Oh,
things of that
man,
nature. You
things
20s.
of
know what
that
I'm saying?
nature.
Yeah, things of that nature. Like, he say that. I think he think that make him sound intellectual, but it make you sound like you don't know what the hell. You know them black people, and you go somewhere and they be like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. Oh, yeah, the whatchamacallit. It's almost like you saying the whatchamacallit. Like, boy, stop saying that. That's not as
No, his
good.
vocabulary is limited.
It's very limited. And I'm just like, you see that Melody was doing your homework, and see, he let Melody, he he let Melody let him use her up for so many years because she loves him. And I feel like I've been in that situation where you get love bombed by somebody and you just, everything be good, 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 and then you just don't see the red flags until later on, and you be like, oh girl, what was you thinking? Like, what was you thinking?
I have
And
one
so
of
it's
them.
just like and it's just like his mama, like Marlene the drinking machine. I get so tired.
Girl,
I get so
listen.
tired. I get all right, Marlene.
You forgot the
She
chain smoking drinking machine.
oh, the chain smoking
Listen.
Mad Dog 2020
Don't
sitting on
be
the front
upset.
porch babysitting.
Don't be upset when I put that in my video for next week, because Marlene the drinking machine is gonna stay. That's
I'm
hilarious.
sorry. No, it's just that I feel like Miss Marlene always come off as if she is like drunk or like aloof or angry. Like when he started talking about counseling, then she angry. You don't want him to go to counseling because then it's going to expose the fact that his problems stem from childhood and probably some mental illness that he probably was never helped with.
I
Mhm.
say
And
Miss Marlene missed the mark every time because I could tell Martell preps her for the scene. Like, I need you to support me and say this, say this, say this. And then
yeah,
just last week, she was like, Mama, when she's she turned around and she's suing me for custody. Why is she suing you for custody? He was like, because I screwed
yep,
up.
that's why he got to wearing braids now because when she had done wigs, they used to always be kind of twisted. So I think he done started watching the show and like, Mommy, you need to you gonna drink? We got to put you in some hairstyles that don't move or just make you look more presentable to the camera. But she just mad because Melody elevated Martell. Then Melody left and closed the pocketbook. Then she had to go back to working wherever it was she was working. And Marcel, he be needing help with bills. Melody was helping him at first, now she not. Marlene help him if she probably can. He pay her back in his wine that he don't be shipping out. I don't know. Like this, I really don't.
You could tell when Martell have some change because Ariane have her hair done and she's getting rentals. Whenever you see her looking like she ain't got it together, Martell ain't giving no money.
She finally took out that stiff bob that she had in for about 5 months already,
Stiff
trying to
ball.
copy Mel. Okay, because I'm like that bob was real stiff. I'm like, you trying to straight on something that ain't even moving. Like it's
Stiff
already
where?
straight.
Stiff where?
Okay.
No, she went and got plaits after the bob, but she done took it out
Yeah.
now
Oh,
because
because remember Melody he's telling
correct.
Melody that he liked braids, and now she went to get him. Everything Melody do, Arian do. And I saw a picture of Arian recently, and she had her filter, and I was like, "Girl, you let this man mess you
Isn't
up.
that
You losing
something?
all your good years."
Isn't
I
that
do believe she's a
Like,
beautiful young woman, but dating Martell
you,
have aged her.
Right, right.
it messed her up. She was beautiful. That's what I'm saying. I said you don't let him mess you up. Like you said your hair falling out, it's looking all thin.
Mm.
Did you ever get your ends clipped? Like what's going on? Like I allegedly Paris daddy don't want her on the camera no more. That's why we never really see Paris anymore. Thank
oh
God.
yeah.
But that's why we just have Knox beating her in the head when she come on camera now because she's still allowed to put him on camera because Martell don't
telling
care.
her to shut up.
Yeah, shut up, hitting her in the head with stuff and throwing stuff at her and you know.
That is crazy.
But she a good mama, you can't be talking about good mamas like
Okay.
She's
I'm
a
for
great
real.
mom.
She's
She's
a
a
she's a
great
great
No.
mom.
mom.
Listen, if this is how we are,
She
she
done
said,
left him in the
I'm
car.
sober. I didn't have anything to drink today. Child, you must be a riot if you do have something to drink. That is
Okay.
Yep. He
Because
done
Brandy
moved
got
her.
away with words.
I know.
I told you I'm from Miami. I've not had no wine tonight. Just imagine if I had a low wine. I'd be
That's a
too
little one.
much. But I was just like, she's a great mom, but she done had him in the pool by herself, done left him in the car, done fed him popsicles for breakfast every day for about a year. Like, no. But I mean, she a great mom because she ain't got no job. Like, she be home all day staring in front of the computer. Like, she's a I can't call her a housewife because she ain't nobody wife, even though she like to
Stay
put
at
that out
home
there. That
mom.
man that bald head fool would never marry her. I
Dana, I bet
cannot.
you she on every live you have on a burner account.
I bet you she is too. Y'all would be amazed at the people who come into my comments after. Holy, holy. I've had a little bit of everybody from Love and Marriage DC. I've had family members of people come into my comments and try to curse me out.
Oh, her
What?
mama was a side chick, so her mama probably done came in somebody comments and I
For
You
said
know what's
sure.
something.
crazy? I can't believe she had 4 or 5 siblings. They probably like, we don't even mess with her because she fooling around with this married man.
No, but
Well,
didn't
I
her
think
mother fool around? Allegedly,
yeah,
her
her
mother
mom
fooled
did. Her
around with a
mom did.
married
They
man
did
too.
say that. That's why her mom don't really trip on what she does.
Yeah, because her mama did it too.
But I don't really think her siblings be around. Like, unless she in Ohio, I really do
No,
think
yeah,
that
they're in
she really
another
ain't got no
state.
friends. I really don't think she got no friends in Alabama. I think she probably got like one
Would
or
you
two
want to be her
people.
friend?
Not really. I know they say she's a good
She
mother
sent
and
her
she real
daughter is her
smart and
best
she's college educated and she went to nursing school. I'm pretty sure that she can't even spell nursing, but we just gonna leave that where it is because I don't want to go in too much on Ariane because she's that girl. I'm not that girl, so what she told us. The girls who get it, and the
The
girls
girl.
who don't, they don't. I don't get it, so I ain't that girl.
Yep, you're right. You are right.
I mean, she better, I guess, open up her lip gloss line soon. Ain't that's coming up? I don't know. Uh,
Child, ain't nobody
popsicle,
minding.
popsicle flavored,
She
popsicle flavored
already
lip
tries to
gloss.
ride Melody's wave. Anytime Melody does something with her clothing line, she comes out the next hour saying she got something going
I'm
on.
waiting for the spring
Or
collection, Dana.
Melody put exactly if she put up all these same clothes that she keep putting up over and over. Girl, some of them clothes is real ugly, and you can find them on Shein. I don't know. I'm like.
You can find them on Shein or Alibaba. I've been
Like
on.
those be like kind of like stripper girl outfits, like girls like I don't know. I'm not that girl. I told you. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Um, but let me go. I wanted to mention something about Kimmy. I really do think that Maurice is Kimmy's weakness, but I really do think Kimmy think them that the rest of them are some effing fools. I think, like she said in the first season, I think Kimmy would not be friends with Tisha. I think Tisha is an airhead to Kimmy, and I think that they are only close because they are, or they're probably not even close like that, but they only be in each other's vicinity. Well, Tisha probably want to be friends with Kimmy, but Kimmy
Tisha
forces
would,
herself
but
because Maurice will make an issue because Marceau would make an issue,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and
I
it's just like for Marceau to be saying he has $17 million, like I thought he was working at the popcorn place and he ain't had no job, and they had the Hopes had to help them get a house and stuff like that, but they supposed to be millionaires. And their house kind of look a little dirty to me. I wonder is it the same house from last season? Because that house looked like a shack in the woods. So I really have no clue
Whose
if they
house?
still
Whose house?
Tisha and Marceau house with
Oh,
the dirty bedroom and
yeah.
just the way their
It's the
house
same
looked like.
one.
Just
I don't know why they film in that damn bedroom. I say it every time. I'm like, wow, that is a.
I'm like she always talking about being a housewife. Well, when you gonna clean up? Like what
For
you gonna
sure.
And be
dirty
talking
They
there
ass.
have
like,
one area right by the front door that
I'm
they have.
just like, girl, you
So,
put that. I've been married for 16, 17 years. I cook, I clean. Yeah, when you clean 3 years ago, because when y'all first moved in that house, because girl, I think I seen them socks that he had on from last season on the floor, like in the first episode. So we
They
ain't moved
really
together.
flexing on this show, trying to make it seem like they're millionaires. They don't move like millionaires. Now, I know I wouldn't be
none
wasting
of
my
them
money if
except
I
Melody.
was, but they need to do upgrades. I don't know. I just think they should get an Airbnb to film in during the season,
Mhm. Mhm.
that makes
Like
like most people
like
do.
Think
Blueface,
Martell
like
does.
Blueface and Chris Shine. Oh yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Shoot, even Arian get a rental car to not be on Instagram live right now, so she won't be
Ah,
walking around the parking lot acting like she looking for her car.
sitting on the curb
I
waiting for the
remember that.
Uber. Wow, that was a hilarious day.
I was like, girl, you ain't looking for no car. You-
That junk got repoed allegedly. That's why she still got
I
the
had
keys to pop.
Facts.
I had to stop watching her because her lives be too long for only 2 minutes of conversation unless she drunk and she be got her hair standing up all crazy screaming at somebody in the camera. Like, I don't know, like, and if she is pregnant again, they say she may be pregnant. I'm like, girl, you'll never learn. I guess you can add somebody to your food stamps because Martell ain't got no money. I don't know what to say.
Sure
But
don't.
he ain't got no money, and if you keep letting him lay up in that house with you, they're gonna kick you out section 6, section 8, whatever you own. Cause you keep moving. That poor baby done had to move probably like 6 times, and he ain't even 2 yet.
Right.
Every time you turn around, she don't even bother probably unpacking no more, because she knows she probably gonna move in about 3 months. So what's the point of unpacking
I
these
don't think she's in
boxes?
her own place. I think if she was in her own place, she would go live more often and use that filter.
Right.
I don't know, because she was one time going live a lot, but it always seemed to be like different houses. It never seemed to be that original place that she used to be at all the time. But I just figured she stopped going live because she kept looking like a fool, and he kept like showing Sheree off. And I don't even want to talk about Sheree, because Sheree is like older than I think maybe she my mom's age. I don't know. My mom is 54. So I'm not sure how old Sheree is, but you should have some sense by now. Like,
Martell's
what you
mom
doing
is
with
57,
Martell?
so I think Sheree is 55.
Okay. My mom is 50. My mom had me when she was 28, so around that. But I'm like, you messing around with this broke dusty. Wait, is he got a nice body? He still got a bowling ball shaped head and funny shaped ears. He got 2 little clothes. He shot the baby gap. Like, I don't know what's the attraction to Martell. He can't really speak that well. Like, he just,
Yeah.
I guess, something to feel on or
Melody
make
blew
you.
that little relationship out of the water on Saturday when she said, or Friday or Saturday when she's like, and I have a real relationship, unlike somebody else who's being celebrated for a fake relationship.
You caught that, Dana?
I caught
I
it.
wish she would
I
have
caught
broke
that
up with him
shade.
before she got his teeth fixed, because then
That's
he
why
really was
Carlos
stuck
was
in his teeth.
Huh?
right. That's why Carlos was rolling over in his closet when she said that. He
Right.
started laughing.
He spun all the way
He's
around.
so
I was like,
he's so
child,
phony.
there's
He's so
only one
phony.
person he can be talking about because everybody else on the show is married. So there's that. And those are fake relationships too. At least one of them.
Let
Yeah,
me tell
because
you, the only time
It's something I wanted to mention also with Ariane. When Ariane came out going on a rant about Stormy, when Stormy was acting like, "Oh, I don't know her. Her friend was my husband friend, and she used to be waiting in the car." But it turns out apparently she used to be doing Ariane hair, and they knew each other a little bit more than what Stormy. I said to Stormy, "You out here lying like Destiny? Like, come on, man. Like, I thought that's what I said. We was being bamboozled. Like." You around here hanging out with Ariane, lollipop lips, Curry, like you the 40, right? Why you ain't get her a job? Cause she ain't gotta be all chasing after Martell for his money that he don't got. Like,
Facts.
he ain't got no. I don't know. These
Facts.
people. I don't really like Tisha. Like, I used to feel bad for Tisha, and in the first season, I always liked Melody, but I used to think that the hurt that Martell was putting Melody under was making her be a little mean to Tisha. And in the first season, you could definitely tell that Tisha ain't had no spine. Marcel had broken her down to like crumbles and bits and pieces. They had been friends for years and years, and then you finally get on the show and you really see what it is. It's because your big head husband done blew up the spot, and now people is like seeing y'all for who you are, but now you trying to be like, oh, you distancing yourself from me and you ain't really a friend. Girl, she done helped them out so much, but they always want to put it on Martell. If we lucky Martell could tie his shoes, because I don't know, he can't do nothing for y'all now, and y'all won't even get him a job at
Oh my
Holt and
God.
Holt,
That's
like
true.
Shoat or whatever that place is called,
So,
like Scope. Well, she won't even get him a job there. When he was asking for a job, she was like, I don't think so. Marcel was the one trying to convince her, and then he talking about, oh well, it's really up to Tisha. Tisha got everything in her name, and she let this fool make it seem like he's such a business savvy person,
and she's
and
about
he
to
was
get
worth. Yes, and ain't nothing wrong with working at the movie theaters, but stop acting like you above and beyond when you was working at the movie theaters and you got fired for sexual harassment. Like, I really do feel like a lot of them on that cast was creeps. Even they friend that they used to have one there who got divorced from his wife. He was cute though, I ain't gonna lie, but he gave me creepy vibes too. What's the big one who went to the cabin with them that Martell tossed over the sofa? Yeah, him.
Derek.
Derek, he's cute, but you know, I heard he is getting a divorce because he was cheating. He
allegedly, in her opinion.
Allegedly, yeah, and all this stuff.
I saw them together at their, I want to say at their mom's birthday party, which was a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him on Tisha's live or something she was doing the other day for Easter, yesterday. So, but I didn't see his wife though. I just saw him.
Yeah, because apparently, because Melody said it, she didn't want to put the girl name out there, but it had already came out that when that information that came out about the girl pressing charges against him at like the university. I said, so y'all just getting y'all old behinds just getting y'all cars and drive over to the university and just sit up there and act cool on these cars that's probably like about to be repossessed and Renaissance cars, trying to get these young girls to think y'all something. Like it's a hard regimen. It's terrible.
It is. Well, you guys, it is almost 11, so we've been on for almost 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Almost 3 hours, but it's been fun. I enjoyed it. I'm going to do it again soon, probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, depending on what information comes out there, because I need to do more lives with y'all, so y'all can come over, okay? But do y'all have anything else y'all want to say? Anything y'all else you want to talk about?
I mean, we seem like we kind of touched on most of the bases. I'm just waiting to see how everything plays out. Okay. But I believe that Melody is going to shut down every storyline that they try to draw her in, like that with Stormy and her. That's about to get nipped in the bud probably next episode.
And when I tell you, no, she nipped it in the bud on Saturday night, first episode. I literally said, well, yeah, her storyline went downhill. If she tries to, anything that she says that don't match up with what Melody said, is done. We're done.
Yeah, and but she's so mad at Melody, but she said that she didn't talk to any of them. So that lets you know right there that she wants to make Melody her storyline, her and her mom.
And you know who else said she didn't talk to any of them? Stormy herself.
That's what I'm saying. Stormy said that.
Yeah, I said that when I first came on here. I did say that. I said
she blew up her own storyline.
Blew up her own spot. She sure did.
And she only want to have a problem with Melody. That's the funny thing about it, though. Only thing I want to add is I really hope this season isn't Martell pretending that Melody is dragging out this case when they literally had a great co-parenting like situation, and now he finna try to gaslight the pick-me's to be like, oh yeah, I only had like 6 things I really wanted her to do, and she said no, and I just wanted to do mediation, and
exactly why I did this live, because I was like, you were the only person threatening to take her to court.
But what was the other 4 things? He never mentioned it.
Because they were stupid.
He only said 2 things because it probably was ridiculous. He just want to keep track of her. He just want to be. This man is like obsessed. He act like a stalker. I'm pretty sure he sit outside Melody house.
The other things was probably asking for money from some sort of support.
No shame. No shame.
Said no to that because he took that 17,000. Like
you should see my face with that. No shame.
I think they said no to that one because they remember he took that 17,000. Whatever happened to that money? You acting like you so broke. Why you even go invest that if you was gonna take all that money? Like what you did with it? Probably spend it on girls. Like
probably.
That's it.
And he fooled Coleslaw. He had her thinking, oh, Melody's the looks, but Martell's the brains.
Yeah, you heard how she did that interview? She was on
she was talking big crap. Oh, they was going to be business partners together, and Melody was going to crumble. And as the months went on, who was rising and who was dropping, and she was looking just as stupid.
For sure. You guys, okay, so I'm going to drop you down because we are
All
losing
right, ladies.
Good
people. But you guys
night.
have been a pleasure. I truly enjoyed talking to all of you. Thank you to all of my moderators who came over to help out tonight. You all were hilarious. Thank y'all for sharing your stories because I know that it helps someone else. And I will see you all on the next one, okay? So good night.